Top of the order for heat races here as we get set for 206 racing to get us started. It'll be the cadets getting us started for the 5-minute and 2-lap heat. It's Taylor Burris with your starting order.
Here we go as they come around to get started for today's action. We'll wait for timing and scoring to get ourselves ready to roll. But in the 206 Cadet Heat race, it is James Fox with Patrick McNeely on the front row, Bo Laser and Diesel Maxwell in row 2, Kyler Hendrickson and Reed Crampton as, yes, we see you, future flagmen out there, and show them how it's done here at IKC at Whiteland here as we get set to go racing. And we'll double up. Get set for 5 minutes plus 2 laps of action. James Fox looking to sweep the weekend after an incredible drive earlier this morning.
Take this time to say big ups to our corner workers, flagmen, marshals who all make IKC racing possible weekend in and weekend out. Very close during qualifying. Are we going to see that same level here when we do it for position? Let's find out. We're green for 206 Cadet.
James Fox and company already trying to pull away from the competition as Patrick McNeely and Diesel Maxwell are trying to stay in hot pursuit as they come out of the final corner onto the front straightaway for the opening lap here. And Fox has stretched it out to about a good 6 kart length advantage. Then you have the battle for second with Laser, Maxwell, and McNeely. Crampton and Hendrickson round out the rest of the field as they snake their way through the S's into the hairpin on Daytona.
Told you it was close. I should have clarified. It was close second on back. McNeely barely able to beat out Bo Laser and Diesel Maxwell on paces. Here's a look to the inside of Tower Corner from Bo Laser. Might be able to clear him, but it is indeed James Fox out already in a league of his own in this 3-kart battle further back featuring McNeely, Laser, and now Diesel Maxwell at the tail is certainly giving him a little bit more of an advantage. We're 3 wide nearly coming out of the second tower corner as Maxwell goes all the way down to the white line, trying to go through. Still Patrick McNeely out in front. Laser throwing some major haymakers in that opening lap, but still has to settle for third.
Yeah, Laser battles it back down here as he looks to the inside, drops back in line as they climb the banking at Daytona. Coming down the back straightaway, Maxwell is going to try to get to the back bumper of Laser, see if they can work together and get through. Laser finds his own way and gets to the inside as they come through, but crossing over McNeely has the inside lane advantage. Laser couldn't clear him quick enough, and that brings Maxwell back into the hunt.
Trying to walk around the outside, negative. He's trying the crossover as we'll go side by side out of the exit. Still nobody able to bring anything for Fox, and that's because this doghouse right now for the bottom step of the podium. Laser the first to get to the line, first to get to the apex, first of the rest. Just able to barely get in front now of Pat McNeely. Diesel Maxwell still waiting for the right time to strike.
It's all about patience and knowing when to attack here. We still have just a little under 3 minutes plus 2 laps to go here for your drivers as a lot can still happen as here comes Laser and Maxwell switching positions. Once again, McNeely also in the hunt as they come out of the corners, heading into the final corner onto the front straightaway. That 538 of McNeely, but a big time pass by Maxwell. He'll get to the bottom of the racetrack and make the pass complete on McNeely, but cannot hold it down as he drops back a little further and loses some time right there to McNeely and Laser.
Early on apex, wide on exit. That's what's opened up the door for Maxwell as we see it again here coming out of the hairpin. Can he make this momentum stick into Daytona? Just barely unable to do it as McNeely still able to roll all of that momentum onto the high banks. That's good momentum now as he'll try to take a gander to the inside through the first of the tower corners. Not able to get there, and we'll go bumper to bumper to bumper right now with just under 2 minutes and 2 laps to go. Another peek to the inside. Now McNeely tries to go by Laser, but again, by trying to cut down low to the inside of the racetrack, you're cutting all of that momentum, killing all of your speed on corner exit.
Yeah, as really a critical situation here as we watch. Fox is 6 seconds ahead right now as we go further back to the battle for fifth between Crampton and Hendrickson. Just to check on them, got to give them a little bit of shout out to make sure that they're showcasing, hey, you're doing great out there, you're learning things, you're hopefully going to be able to improve the next time we come back here in a few weeks' time for the next round of the Indy Karting Challenge. But back up to second place, Laser is now up to second, but how about Maxwell getting around McNeely finally with under a minute to go?
First move to the front for Diesel Maxwell. That'll be 2 positions drop now for Patrick McNeely, who rolled on the outside, or excuse me, on the inside of row number 2, drops back to P4 as a result. And now another great launch for Maxwell as he'll try to lead the point. Does he have enough pace in that 206 motor to get to the front? Not quite yet. Maybe popped out of that draft just a little bit too early. And we'll have to settle for P3 for the time being. It's really, for these younger cadet chassis, it's been these switchbacks where we've seen so many opportunities to get it on exit. How's that for an exit for Patrick McNeely? Absolutely fired off out of the final corner, shut the door on Diesel to get his way back into P3.
He did a great job to get his way back up there, and he's got the time to do it. 2 laps to go next time by here as they work their way out of Daytona down the back straightaway. McNeely trying to see what he can do as they head down, see if he can get around Laser for second. Looks to the inside, not close enough to try anything there. As they come out of corner exit, not able to make anything work as they work their way towards the final corner. McNeely, Laser, and Maxwell putting on a stellar fight here in your 206 cadet battle for second. There's Crampton and Hendrickson swapping around for position 5th and 6th. But for James Fox, it's just a Saturday afternoon drive for him, once again looking to sweep the weekend in both the 206 cadets and the mini Swift category as they work their way to the white flag one more time for them, as here comes Fox halfway around the circuit as he comes to get the white flag one more time around for him.
Back over to your battle for second. Still Bo out in front in that 8 machine. Here's a good exit and a look wide from Maxwell, as now it's actually comfortable gap for Bo for the time being, but a look to the inside for McNeely could change that. Could we see a carbon copy of the move earlier on? A little bit of scrub on the tires gives an opportunity for Maxwell in the dash to the line as we get one more lap to go here for James Fox. Almost 10 seconds in that Top Kart USA machine over Laser and Company.
Laser's trying to do everything he can to hold off McNeely and Maxwell, but here comes James Fox, picking him up, putting him down, and just out for that drive here as he works his way through the final couple of corners. James Fox, Top Kart USA, take home another heat race win in your 206 cadet category by over 10 seconds advantage. As here comes the rest of the field here, Laser, McNeely, and Maxwell. How will this all play out amongst the 3 of them as they come across the start-finish line? It will be the driver of the number 8, possibly. He will hold on. No, McNeely gets around Bo Laser for second place. Maxwell drops back to 4th.
Move at the line will demote Laser to row number 2 alongside Diesel Maxwell for the main event later this afternoon. But you can guarantee not only will we see Crampton and Hendrickson going back at it, but it should be an absolute doghouse to see who will end up on the podium. Sized up, getting a little bit heavier in these 206 carts. It's the Sportsman coming up next here from Indy.
And away we go for the 206 Sportsman Division heading out onto the track. Here is your starting lineup. Dominic Gaddis on the pole position with Blake Martinez in second, Will Feidinger and Ari Berger in row 2, Christopher Heinzen, Leon Semenelik in row 3, and Keelan Coons rounding out your 7 kart field here in your 206 Sportsman Heat race.
One of the bigger sportsman fields we've seen here in 2025. And Dominic Gaddis, who has dominated throughout the Midwest in these very karts, looking to carry that momentum in the sportsman. We'll see what he can do from P6. Blake Martinez and Ari Berger on the front row. Berger? I think it's Berger. We'll see. Chris Heinzen behind with Light Simonellic, and all eyes on the 187 as he really tries to keep his championship hopes alive and close that gap to Blake Martinez. We're green for 206 Sportsman. Oh, big wiggle on the inside there. Will Feidinger in the 210 trying to get through. He levels it out, has already taken a spot from Gaddis. We'll stay dead even as we work our way out of the final corner. Another peek to the inside from one of the MPG karts. I think that's Gaddis already gaining 3 or 4 positions. Let's see when they come to the stripe for the first time. Martinez, Berger, Feidinger, and Ari Berger already up 2 positions at the first go.
Absolutely great drive right here as they work their way across the line here as Martinez leads the charge. But a tough break for Gaddis after basically was starting on pole position and has always fallen all the way back to P4. Tough break for him to kick things off.
3 karts in the middle and a peek to the inside as here comes Will Feidinger. Here comes Gaddis with another peek to the inside. He immediately shuts the door, wants to get another with a look to the inside of Ari Berger. Now Feidinger's going to get an opportunity. Berger drops back to 4th. Simon Netlick's going to get an opportunity for 5th. Major reshuffles here to get us started for our Sportsman Heat. Everybody reshuffling, and now Gaddis in just 1 lap gets his way back up to the front row spot for the final. Berger down 2.
Berger doing everything he can to move up a couple of spots as Gaddis sets his sights on Martinez here in the closing minutes of this race, heading down the back straightaway once again. And already he's picked up a couple of tenths on Martinez as they work their way through up to the triple apex corner. And as they work their way off corner exit, you see here how close and how quickly Gaddis has made that time on Blake Martinez, and he's wanting more. Feidinger staying right there in the hunt if something were to happen with these two to battle it out as they cross the line. Gaddis setting fastest lap of the race as well as he is trying to get his way up to the front of the field to the inside. Beautiful pass will push Gaddis or Martinez up the track, which opens the door for Feidinger for 2nd place.
Further back, Light Simonellic setting radar lock on Ari Berger for P20. But further back, now a furious Blake Martinez going to try and work that top kart machine back into the mix. It'll be, I believe, Will Feidinger first on the menu as it's an MPG 1-2. As a result, can Martinez hold up that pace? It's going to be tough. You saw how quick both of those MPG karts were able to close that gap. There's a big shuffle further back as it looks like Heinzen's gotten in the mix for this 3-kart battle further behind. Yes, he has. So further back now, Simonellic, Berger, and Heinzen getting a party at the table. No one throwing a life raft, unfortunately, to Kalen Kuntz.
Kuntz struggling out there on the moment as he definitely there's some work that needs to be done for the Kuntz machine. But for Dominic Gaddis, it is smooth sailing. He's holding strong over Will Feidinger, who is still right there as they work their way around the circuit. As they come out of the final couple of corners here across the start-finish line, 2 minutes plus 2 laps to go. As they cross the line, Gaddis sets another fast pace. Feidinger trying to keep pace in his MPG Kart Republic. Still has quite a bit of work to do.
One of the lone top karts in this division is starting to be hung out to dry. Same could be said, actually, for your 4th, 5th, and 6th drivers. Simonellic and Berger figuring out pace right now to leave Heinzen in the dust. Very rarely in 206 racing, especially running these cadet chassis, do we see the field kind of spread out this quickly. And it's far from over. We still got 60 seconds and 2 laps on the clock, but nobody quite within striking distance just yet. And that goes to show you just how figured out Dom Gaddis has things figured out for the time being. He's tacked on another 10th now on Will Feidinger. Blake Martinez 2 seconds back from Gaddis, 2.5 from Feidinger.
He's trying everything he can. Feidinger, really good run for him this race here that we were not expecting. I'd have to say I was expecting Martinez and Gaddis to be pulling away, but for Martinez, he seems to be struggling with pace out there on the circuit as Feidinger keeps trying to stay pace. Half a second separates the two of them as he tries to close. MPG 1-2 here in your 206 Sportsman.
Need 30 seconds to try and find something here. Feidinger now even on pace with Gaddis with his best lap of 41.675. Still within drafting range, but again, needs to find at least another 10th or so to really have that draft give him an opportunity to not just close that gap, but potentially make an opportunity. Out of time here in the first heat for the 206 Sportsman. Gaddis and Feidinger, the two MPGs, will take us to the Twin Sticks. And Blake Martinez, who started out in front, has been eaten alive by those red, yellow, and black machines.
Absolutely, as they come around, 2 laps to go. I think Feidinger and Gaddis are just going to settle in and just bring it home for a strong MPG 1-2 in this heat race as they come across the line and work their way out of Daytona down the back straightaway for the final time in heat race number 1 for your 206 Sportsman. Heading down the back straightaway, braking zone, just make it through nice and clean, no mistakes, and you will bring home a nice finish for yourself before the feature race. Get some nice points as Gaddis leads the charge into there. Feidinger right there in hot pursuit as they come out of the final corner. Checkered flag in the air. Well, actually, no, white flag in the air for them. No pressure for them as Martinez still has a decent gap over the driver of Leah Simonelik as he has to deal with Ari Berger in 5th position.
Almost a carbon copy of what we saw 1 week ago at Newcastle. MPG dominance with Feidinger and Gaddis out in front. Are we going to see that pace remain this level of dominant come the final? Needs a couple of corners here, but you got to imagine come the final, the gloves will come off between these two young guns. Out of turn 7 for the final time. Checkered flag out for heat number 1. MPG front row lockout. Gaddis leads Feidinger. Martinez coming home in P3. Simonelik gonna lead the rest of them.
An incredible drive right there by the MPG group as they take home the top 2 spots. Next on the docket will be your 206 Masters as here comes the rest of the field across the timing line. Keelan Kuntz will be the last driver to come home in 7th place. A little bit of work to do for Kuntz. Hopefully can make some adjustments and be ready to try and close the gap a little bit with the rest of the competitors as the 206 Masters are next on the docket here on Kart Chaser. Karts are rolling in 206 Masters. Here's your starting lineup. It's William McLaughlin on the pole position with Evan McCorkadale second. Row 2, we'll see AJ Coldata with Troy Toney in fourth position. Brian Williams and Melvin Goodsey in row 3 with Tyler Tiemann and Michael Schaefer in row 4. Clint Stillwell rounds out your 9-cart field as we get set to go racing. It's some of the biggest names in the 206 medium category we saw, 206 Supermasters, 206 Legends, all battling it out for a chance to be at the top of the podium in the 206 Masters. McCorkadale, McLaughlin, Coldata, Tony Williams, they're going to be the ones to watch here in today's 206 Master race.
It was the William McLaughlin show this entire morning. Scale violation sent him to the back of the grid for the multi-class group we had this morning, and worked himself from the very tail of the field in the heats to victory in the Supermasters. We'll see what he can do here outside of row number 2. Always talk about the comparison of the inside versus outside lanes, and I'll tell you what, guys who are really able to get a good jump here, if you're able to roll all of that momentum on the outside, get a good jump at the throw of the green flag, again, that outside line becomes the inside by the time you reach the second tower corner. We've got some hands up, but we'll see the green flag. What can McLaughlin do on the outside line? Cortolata already going through. It's a 4-cart break and a big shove that will give McLaughlin the win. Excuse me, Cortolata will get the win. We're nearly 4 wide into the second tower hairpin. Cortolata massively offline. Tony goes through, and we're nearly 2 abreast coming across the stripe for the first time.
Absolutely great fight here as Coldata will lead the charge. McCorkadale and McLaughlin right there, and Tony as they jockey for position. It's a 6-cart breakaway right now as they come up to the top of the banking of Daytona. Everyone just lined astern as now it turns from a 6 to a 4-cart train down the back straightaway.
Nothing being saved now is 2 big dives. McCorkadale and Tony trying to work their way through into the first of the hairpins. Good defense from Cortolata. He's able to at least hold on to P2, but a hard charging McLaughlin has not only tried to make it work around the outside, but has brought Brian Williams, Godsey, and Schaefer into the mix as well. Early moves makes this everybody's race.
Early moves indeed here as everyone tries to jockey. How about that crossover move from McLaughlin to get around Tony? He's not done yet. He'll try to go around the outside as he tries to find his way around Coldata. McCorkadale breaks away from all the carnage behind.
This'll chop everybody off from first and second with McCorkadale already nearly a whole second up. You got Cortolata another 1.5 seconds at that. So this is going to force teamwork. You look at where Tony, McLaughlin, and Williams are. It's going to force collaboration here from third on back if they want to get those other runners. But again, 0 pushing help for McCorkadale, 0 drafting help now for Cortolata, just barely within drafting range of getting help from that 191. So how quickly is that freight train of 3 cars behind going to reach? The answer is fairly quickly, as it's gotten down to about 4 cart lengths between Willie Mack and Cortolata.
As field works their way up to the top of the hill here at Daytona, they will work their way through. Your top 2 have broken away. McLaughlin leads that second group as they work their way down the back straightaway. He's got Troy Toney to help him. William right there with Goodsey as they try to close the gap to your top 2.
Top cart of Brian Williams looks to be under attack further back. I believe that's Melvin Godsey trying to make a move out of the final corner. Fastest lap that time through for Troy Toney, actually, a 41.640. You see him there in P4 trying to get that move on Willie McLaughlin. And McLaughlin, you could argue, doing a big part in helping Troy towards that lap, charging the way, opening the path for him. And now he'll try and launch and take that bottom spot on the podium for him. Not quite enough momentum coming out of Daytona. He'll slot back into P4. Further back, though, really quickly, a big move attempted there from Godsey as he continues to swing away at Brian Williams. Those two need to work together if they have any shot of staying in the top 5 here, Taylor. Further back here, or excuse me, back to the front. And sure enough, McLaughlin back to Tony. That has become a 4-way battle for the lead almost. Certainly a 3-way battle for second. We've got 1 cart off big time further back. That looked like Brian Williams in the 75 maybe went off big time into the dirt out of the second hairpin. We'll try and get a plate for you as soon as we can. But just like that, McCorkadale still out in front, but the competition has arrived for Codalata, McLaughlin, and Troy Tony right there. Little bit of a checkup here for Codalata, and it was Melvin Godsey, someone who we really haven't touched on too much, but that number 2 kart who was trying to attack on J. Brian Williams carried just a smidge too much speed. Here's a move for second with McLaughlin trying the inside of Codalata. Tony trying to go with him will peak all the way down to the inside, and in trying to snatch P3, it'll actually be the competition in the 24 that will bite him back for P3.
Tony doing everything that he can here as they work their way across the line. 30 seconds left to go on the clock, so give it about 3 laps to go for your drivers as they work their way over to turn number 1 through the S's. And McCorkadale is having a smooth and consistent run as they come out of the hairpin, and he's just got to maintain. But watch out for Codalata and Tony as they are hooked up down the back straightaway. This is where we'll see a lot of passing for position here later on in the feature as they close the gap down to McCorkadale heading into the turn.
You can really see that speed difference. What are they going to do with it? There was a little bit of a peak to the inside there from Codalata, but they know they've got 2 laps left, and maybe with a little bit of pushing, they can clear themselves from who's frankly been the scariest guy all day, William McLaughlin. McCorkadale made a big move at the start to move him into P2. That kind of popped open the cork and allowed Tony and Codalata to snake on through. So will these 3 work together, or will it to be no avail? Because McLaughlin continues to stay right in the tracks coming out of Daytona. Prime opportunity to overtake. Watch Codalata as he looks to the inside here, coming into the second hairpin. Will he be able to carry that momentum? McCorkadale walking the tightrope, covering in low. Big contact between the two. Codalata and Tony bang wheels, and somehow, some way, we stay on track.
Well, this allows the door to open up for McLaughlin to try to take the 3rd spot away. White flag in the air. McLaughlin moving up to P3 as they come across the line. McCorkadale has some breathing room over Tony and McLaughlin as he tries to run away, and Codalata now has to figure out where he can find that little extra to get back in 3rd position at least.
That'll set rainbows off in the mind of Evan McCorkadale because he just watched a major melee over his shoulder. He's not out of the woods yet, though, because now a hard-charging Troy Tony, who literally threw his side pod to Willie McLaughlin, wants to start on the front for this 10-minute 2-lap final coming up in an hour or so. Are we going to see a move? Is there enough momentum to get to the 191 of McCorkadale out of the last corner for the final time in this heat? Not quite enough momentum. And for the first time, we do not see Willie McLaughlin on top today. Evan McCorkadale on the 191, going to lead him to green here for the 206 Masters.
How about on that final lap right there? Troy Tony, though, setting the fastest lap of the race. Keep an eye on that for us as he's going to have something set lined up in the feature later on today. But McCorkadale, Tony, McLaughlin, your top 3. Codalata, Williams, your top 5, with Goodsey, Schaefer, Demon, and Clinton Stillwell rounding out your 9 kart field. Next on the docket is the KA Junior Heat race next on Kart Chaser. Here we go, getting set for our next category. It is the KA Junior Heat Race. Here's your starting lineup. It is Andrew Avelos, Jordan Lapin, Mason Galen, Nolan Wade, and Mason Ward. Your 5 competitors. Throw in Lucian Laser also in the mix as we get set to go racing in the KA Junior category. As we get set here to go racing as they head down the back straightaway.
Big time championship implications here as we go green for KA Junior.
Field works their way through and lined up 2 by 2 as they come after the first couple of corners at the start of the race as the 2 top cards go at it once again of Lapin and Galen. They gather themselves up and across the start finish line they go to kick off the racing action. Avelos and Lapin, and then you have Galen and Laser battling it out for third as they snake their way through the S's, coming over towards Daytona, and already you see Avelos kicking in the afterburners with help from Lapin. As they head down the back straightaway, big time push coming for the two of them. They want some separation between themselves. Now he'll look to the inside. Lapin leads the charge here. And here comes Galen trying to sneak his way around as a big time send coming from Avelos to recapture the lead.
2 carts, 1 corner. What a move for Galen. All of a sudden, Lapin and Avelos trying to go back through. 5 carts under a blanket here. As we wrap up lap number 2, Lapin will be first to the line. Avelos, Galen, Laser, and Ward. Everybody still in this mix right now. A little bit of a peek to the outside there from Galen, trying to pull a late apex. There's the launch. He was trying over Avelos, not quite able to get that move done just yet. All of a sudden, Jordan Lapin has a ton of breathing room. How quickly will that draft cut in?
Well, right now, it's not helping whatsoever because they're battling it out further back between Galen, Laser, and Ward as they try to fight their way through. And here comes a send to the inside. Galen finds his way, pushes the driver of Avelos back all the way to 4th with Laser following suit. As Lucian Laser moves up to P2. Beautiful drive that he's got going on as he sets his sights on Lapin, the 2 rivals in the championship hunt, putting on a stellar drive here in this KA Junior category.
Still smart driving and a very smart move there we saw from Avelos. You can see him now. He's fending off from Mason Ward and Nolan Wade. It becomes a 3-cart battle, and the 2 top carts continue to throw haymakers at each other. Galen now dropping back, or filtering through Lucian Laser. Again, Laser so fast in the 206s this morning, but major issues earlier on had him retire from the main event. What was a amazing drive from the back of the field to P1, what could have been at least. He'll try to do the same now from P3. Fastest lap last time by Mason Galen, a 37.905. He's locked into the rear bumper right now of Jordan Lapin, and just a little bit further back, Andrew Avelos trying to see what he can do to close that gap and get into this podium battle.
Great fight here for the drivers as they work their way through into the corner, heading down the front straightaway as they snake their way over. 2 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Lapin works their way through. How about Avelos, though, kicking in the afterburners to set the fastest lap of the race as he works his way through around. He's trying to find his opening to get around Laser.
Andrew Avelos on scene now in this battle for the bestest second. Here comes Laser rolling that momentum to the inside. Avelos trying to go with him. A little bit of a push there to the 800 to try and go through. 2 top carts trying to go for it. A big dive to the inside of that Norris chassis of Laser as we'll continue to cycle back and forth. What a battle for the podium right now. Great news for Jordan Lapin as he watches a massive furball behind him. But all of a sudden, Lucian Laser, who is down in 4th, improves up to P2 again.
Already
Good
seeing
breakaway. They're going to.
I was going to say, here comes the pass for second right now as they work their way through. You see Avelos just trying to find his way around Laser because he's got the pace. He just needs to find that opening as he tries to cross him over down to the bottom of the racetrack. Can't work. Will he try again here in the final corner? No, he's got no help either from Galen to help him get around. He'll slot back into that top cart sandwich as they cross the line. Should be now about 4 laps to go.
This is a nightmare kind of scenario right now for Mason Galen. The first time we've seen him off the podium potentially since the final in round 8. Last time before that, you got to cycle all the way back to this spring, round 2, where he finished P4 in the final. He's got a lot of work to do, and a on-fire Andrew Avelos in front right now, but still with 20 seconds to go and 2 laps, he's got a handful of opportunities. The beauty of these KAs, we see so many different parts of this racetrack, of this high-speed, high-momentum layout, where we've seen a lot of places you can jam it up the inside. We saw an attempt there from Laser as he tried to work the inside into that first hairpin. Nothing quite through the second hairpin. And I feel like the commentator's curse is about to strike me, Taylor, but maybe a little bit of coexistence here as everyone tries to maybe close that gap to Le Pen out in front.
He's trying everything here, but he's running out of time as they come around the corner. Currently, it's about a second advantage between Lepen and Avelos, and as they work their way through around the circuit, so far so good amongst them. And as we see here, it's a pass for 4 between Laser and Galen as they'll go side by side, and they'll go back single file.
2 of your big championship contenders going at it right now between P3 and P4. That's kind of chopped them off from Avelos, who can laugh all the way home to the bank here if he's able to carry that momentum, and if Laser and Galen continue to throw hands at one another. Question is, will they? Will they know what's potentially at stake here? And can Avelos, 8/10 off, find just a smidge more there to try and get into tow range of Jordan Le Pen? White flag for the KA Junior Heat, and it has been the Jordan Le Pen show out in front. That 818 almost untouched this entire race, but we continue to go at it for the podium.
Here they come here as they come through the final couple of corners up to the top of the Daytona banking. So far, so good amongst for Lepen and Avelos, but the battle for third between Laser and Galen is going to be exciting to see as they head down the back straightaway for the final time here in the heat racing action. And Avelos trying to close the gap, but here comes Galen around. Can't quite get around the outside. Has to tuck back in line as they come through the final corner. Checkered flag in the air for Jordan Lepen to take home the win here in KA Junior.
Good chunk of points coming the way of Avelos, and it is indeed Lucian Laser who will round out your podium. Galen home in third, Wade home in fourth. Excuse me, two Wades. It's 2 W's to end us off. I thought it was Wade and 2 Wades. It's a Wade and a Ward to round out 5th and 6th. Nolan in the 99, Mason in the 813. That could be a big pivot in our championship standings come the final, but we'll have to wait to see how the maths itself out. 206 Senior Light Heat coming up here from Indy. Getting set to turn them loose here for the final heat of the day in the form of the 206 lights. After this, on to Kid Karts. We'll take a 10-minute breather and then run the big shows. Back to the top of the order, starting with your 206 cadets and sportsmen for your 10-minute and 2-lap finals to conclude a action-packed round 10 here at K1 Whiteland. Again, Jackson Lambros, Taylor Burris with you in the Kart Chaser Global broadcast booth. So happy you've made our Saturday a part of yours for the past 9, now 10 rounds here in the heart of Indiana. Taylor, what's our starting grid here for the 206 lights?
Absolutely. Let's quickly go over the 206 light category here today. And as we do so, here it is. Adam Maxwell and Braden Heber, Colton Kelly, Caden Worf, Colin Harden, Ethan Williams as well, followed by Tyler Sims, Gage Justiano, Gavin Haltom, and Andrew Goldman, your 10 karts out on the track. It's going to be exciting to see how this all plays out. Maxwell and Heber lead us to the green flag and get set for 5 minutes plus 2 laps here at K1 Circuit in Whiteland.
206 senior light. It's been the Braden Heber show out in front. Again, a no-show for a major adversary in that title fight for the 8. Levi Wilbur, what can Colton Kelly do to try and close that gap and give himself a fighting chance? Let's find out. Let's go green. Clean getaway for Heber out in front. He'll arrowhead them through the second of the hairpins. Believe that's Kelly in that flamingo pink helmet. On the outside, now trying a switchback. We'll go 2 abreast across the stripe for the first time at full song. It's Adam Maxwell in the 41, who's already tried to make a move in that 41 plate kart, but we will stay clean and green out in front. Worf in second. Kelly slots back to 4th.
A lot of great racing action here amongst the front of the field as Heber and Maxwell continue to hold on. But watch out for the battle for 4th with Kelly, Harden, and Williams putting on a good show as they work their way down to the back straightaway. Through they come up to the top, and as they work their way into the final corner, Heber just putting on a masterclass defense against Maxwell and Worf as they come out. Here is going to be the advantage amongst them. Heber leading across the line, and he's got about a 1/10 of a second advantage. In fact, your top 4 separated by less than a second.
Close squabble further back. Watch Colin Harden in the 11 right now, trying to fend off Gage Justiniano in that 48. But up front, here comes Adam Maxwell with a good run. Will he get to the bumper of Heber out in front? He will. He'll lift off throttle, though, to try and minimize that drama. He'll try and look for a way through. Further back, Hayden Worf, the number 4 car, trying to fend off from Colton Kelly as that battle for row 2 for the final continues to sort itself out. A little bit further back, you got Colin Harden, who's now on a smidge of an island. Same can be said for Gage Justiniano. And it looks like we've got trouble as well here. Didn't mention Ethan Williams. He's already 30 seconds off pace and has dropped back. Your 6th place starter now in 10th.
Yeah, pretty interesting situation right there, I have to say, for Williams. Hopefully he can find a way to recover and come back with a strong performance in the feature later on this afternoon as they work their way through. Heber still holding strong by about 0.3 of a second. Worf's falling off the pace behind these two, as well as he's having to hold off the hard charge from Colton Kelly, who's trying to find his way around.
Just getting halfway home here in our last heat of the day. It's the 206 lights. It's been Braden Heber out in front as he tries to add more insurance to his championship battle, but Adam Maxwell continuing to study the rear end of that number 8 kart as Hayden Worf and Colton Kelly are suddenly starting to, I don't want to say work together. They're not quite within striking distance just yet, but a little push from the 38 to the 4 would certainly make this interesting.
Certainly would make it interesting indeed, I have to say, but Heber is going to try to make sure. How about Kelly, though? Thought about looking to the inside of Worf, can't quite close the gap. Then you have Harden and Justiano battling as well for the 5th spot with under 2 minutes plus 2 laps to go.
3 pairs of duels here. Heber and Maxwell, Worf and Kelly, Harden and Justiniano further behind. You look even further back, it's Tyler Sims now fending off Gavin Haltram. Everybody seemingly finding a dance partner here as we've got 90 seconds to go and still no moves. Only real changes on track so far has been a swap of your front row. Maxwell on pole dropping back to Heber, who started alongside him. And then obviously that incident for Ethan Williams, who I think got tangled at the start and allowed Justiniano, Sims, Halton, and Goldman to cycle on through. This 2-pack, though, out in front, Heber and Maxwell, the teamwork has helped them. A little bit of a change further back, maybe, as it looked like Harden and Justiniano had a switch. But you look right now, the coexistence between Heber and Maxwell really has helped. It's 1.7 seconds clear from Caden Worf.
Worf doing a great job of holding off the drive from Kelly, as those two are starting to do it, as we keep an eye on the battle for the race lead between Maxwell and Heber. Going to be about 3 laps to go between them as they try to hold on and see who comes out on top in 2:06 light. So far, as they work their way across the line, 30 seconds to go. Worf finds his way as Justiano moves up to P5 after getting around Colin Harden.
Big time confidence from Braden Heber. You can see that with how much curbing he took into turn 1, almost 2-wheeling it, working into the hairpin. As further back, you now see some interlocking going on between Worf and Kelly as they maybe try to have a little bit of teamwork here to try and push to the front. It might be too little too late, but even then, is Heber and Maxwell far enough in the clear to say fight's on? Maxwell thinks so. He had a little bit of a peek to the outside, but continues to shove that number 8's bumper with 2 laps to go.
2 to go here as they work their way around the circuit. So far, can Heber just hold off Maxwell in the closing laps? Maxwell tries to get a good run as they head down the back straightaway here, and keep an eye on that battle for the race lead. Here they come into the braking zone. Maxwell thinks about showing the nose. Not going to do anything right there. As they come through here comes Heber with a hold on, but here comes Maxwell down to the bottom of the racetrack, completes the pass. Heber tries to cross him over, can't do it on the outside, has to now settle into second as they come to take the white flag.
Just a smidge off throttle for Maxwell to try and give him a gap that he can't use. It'll be the white flag for the first new leader in the heat. Adam Maxwell over Braden Heber. Further back, Caden Worf and Colton Kelly. Kelly starting to take the gloves off in that 38 out of Daytona for the final time. If you've got a move, this is going to be the opportunity to take it. Colin Harden making a move on Justiniano. Further back, another big dive, a look to the front as Heber tried to go the long way around into the final corner. He'll continue to try and swing it wide and set up a switchback, continuing to go wide and launch off of a late apex, rolling all of that momentum to the curbing on the outside. Checkered flag, it won't be enough. Worf and Kelly will drag race further back for P3. Maxwell takes the win by 0.8, and Worf barely able to fend off from Colton Kelly for 3rd and 4th.
And with that, that will conclude our heat racing action here today. We're going to step aside to say thank you to some of our amazing partners here on Kart Chaser. And when we come back, we'll be here to give out the trophies, give out the big points, and see who comes at the top step of the podium next on Kart Chaser.
Are you stuck with your kart racing? Not sure of the ideal kart setup? Or going to a track for the first time? Well, Kart Class has the answers for you. Our online portal has a wealth of experience and knowledge to help your kart racing. From kart setup advice to track guides that are targeted specifically to your circuit, or the driver coaching aspects with mindset, racecraft and driving techniques. If you want to take your karting to the next level, visit us at kartclass.com.
Gee, looks like we're missing the engine. What the hell am I supposed to tag?
What do you mean? It's my Greyhound. It's all I need.
Where's the rest of it?
It doesn't matter. It's a Greyhound.
You gotta make way. Okay, you're good.
Sitting by here with Kyle, our race winner. Tell me how you did it. You were blazing fast out there, and I mean, you don't even have a go-kart, man. Tell me about it.
Yeah, you know, Norberg, Schmorberg, the Greyhound-powered Greyhound was great today. You know, it makes the difference. And the team's been working really hard back at the shop, and, you know, just shout out Greyhound.
Thank you, Kyle. How the f did you just win?
Doesn't matter. It's a Greyhound.
The K1 Circuit Semi-Pro League. This is a competitive race series with two classes. Junior Series for those who are under the age of 18, and the Senior Series for those who are 18 or older. If you think you have what it takes, come out and prove your skills on League Night. Both schedules are live on the K1 Circuit website. Your Kart Chaser live feed will resume shortly.
You know, I'm really starting to like this go-karting thing.
Yeah, me too. Oh my gosh, can I show you this cute dress I just got?
Yes, of course. Oh my goodness, it's so cute.
I just love shopping.
I love shopping too.
Oh my god.
Wait, did you guys say you like shopping?
Of
Yeah.
course.
Well, dude, I have the perfect place to do that at. ShopPayCara.com. At ShopPayCara.com, you can get free shipping on orders $200 or more. You can get anything you want, like MXC rims, gloves, rib vests, shoes, anything that you need, all at ShopPayCara.com.
Who is he talking to?
No idea.
But we're gonna have to check it out. Sounds like a great deal.
Sure does.
Florida Kart Racers, you asked for it and we're going to bring it. Introducing Florida Karting Championship, FLKC, a brand new racing series coming to Florida in 2026.
Let's go race.
Come on, man.
Cat food mark, $9.99 a month.
Dude, Caleb, wake up. Dude, we're live in 5 minutes. Let's go. Come on. What are you doing?
Dude, I'm so sorry. Xander had me in a cat food marketing meeting till like 2 a.m. last night.
Come on, man.
Do you have anything I can drink?
Dude, I got the perfect thing for you. Perico. It's a healthy energy drink alternative.
Perico, non-GMO, gluten-free, kosher, magnesium, B12, B6,
Yeah, it's good.
B5, biotin, and zero sugar? Pericazo! Try Perico, made with natural ingredients, organic caffeine, and supports your metabolism. Try the new official energy drink of Kart Chaser.
This is Henry. Henry feels sad. Henry feels sad because it's time for his next big race and his go-kart is in bits. Henry doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing is the United States' #1 shop for all of your karting equipment needs. Henry also doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing can deliver anything from tires to race suits and even wheels directly to your front door or to the racetrack itself quickly and efficiently, with tech support available 6 days a week. Poor Henry doesn't even know that Acceleration Kart Racing offers free shipping to mainland USA on selected product if you spend $200 or more. Do yourself a favor. Go to accelerationkarting.com and make sure that you are never left stuck on the pre-grid with Henry. Be smart and don't be like Henry.
The K1 Circuit Semi-Pro League. This is a competitive race series with two classes. Junior Series for those who are under the age of 18, and the Senior Series for those who are 18 or older. If you think you have what it takes, come out and prove your skills on League Night. Both schedules are live on the K1 Circuit website. Your Kart Chaser live feed will resume shortly.
Hey, what's up, Caleb?
What's up, Brandon?
You sound defeated. A long day at the office?
Yeah, got stuck at a cat food marketing meeting for like 3 hours. I don't know a thing about cat food, and I don't even work in marketing. And then I got sent on a coffee run like I was some sort of intern. Then at the end of the day, when I want to go get gas, I just realized everything is so darn expensive nowadays, man.
Yeah, you got that right.
Like, do you have any idea how much we're spending on Netflix?
That's like 20 bucks a month.
Do you know how much we're spending on cable?
That's like 50 bucks a month.
But you know what isn't expensive?
Tell me.
Kart Chaser Premium. For only $9.99 a month, you can watch all the American karting action live from coast to coast. Subscribe and become a member today.
Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today.
Hi, I'm Jackson with Alpha Race Hub. Alpha is an all-in-one motorsports software solution that can solve all the software problems you need for your track, facility, or series. Alpha can cover all your software bases, from online registration, digital e-waivers, a proprietary timing and scoring software, incident management, automated points tabulation, tire and barcode scanning. We even have our own mobile timing app and rental kart activity management software. If you're looking to consolidate your motorsports software solutions, reach out to us at alphatiming.co.uk.
Are you looking to take the next step in your racing journey? Well, look no further than PitFit.
With 2 locations in Charlotte, North Carolina and Indianapolis, Indiana, PitFit trains drivers all the way from grassroots level karting to Indy Kart and NASCAR with top-of-the-line personalized coaching to improve physical and cognitive fitness.
For more information on programs, check out PitFit on Instagram or Facebook today.
Wins the Wisconsin Grand Prix! James Overbeck on start number 2 gets win number 1 in OKN Stars!
On track or off, Brandon Jarsekrak Racing delivers elite performance. Led by 4-time Pro National Champion Brandon Jarsekrak, our team masters driver coaching, data-driven analysis, and mechanical precision at every national event. Contact us today at BrandonJarsekrakRacing.com.
What are you doing?
It's got my new Greyhound seat.
You don't even have a cart.
Doesn't matter. I have a Greyhound.
Who the f is Kyle Cuthbertson? Doesn't even have a go-kart.
Doesn't matter.
Cuthbertson through on Turney. Turney in the dirt.
Cat food marketing. $9.99 a month.
Dude, Caleb, wake up. Dude, we're live in 5 minutes. Let's go. Come on. What are you doing?
Dude, I'm so sorry. Xander had me in a cat food marketing meeting till like 2 a.m. last night.
Come on, man.
Do you have anything I can drink?
Dude, I got the perfect thing for you. Perico. It's a healthy energy drink alternative.
Perico, non-GMO, gluten-free, kosher, magnesium, B12, B6,
Yeah, it's good.
B5, biotin, and zero sugar? Pericazo! Try Perico, made with natural ingredients, organic caffeine, and supports your metabolism. Try the new official energy drink of Kart Chaser.
Florida kart racers, you asked for it and we're going to bring it. Introducing Florida Karting Championship, FLKC, a brand new racing series coming to Florida in 2026.
Paulie Massimino wins in KA. Paulie Massimino is a winner in OKN Stars.
Take your driving to the next level with one-on-one coaching from 2024 OKN Stars champion, Paulie Massimino. Kart rental options are available if you'd like to keep yours at home, and drivers in all classes are welcome, from Briggs 206 to Mini to K100 and X30. With in-depth data analysis, onboard video footage review, and lead follow on-track sessions, each private coaching session will see you end as a more complete driver than when you started. Book your coaching session now.
Are you stuck with your kart racing? Not sure the ideal kart setup? Or going to a track for the first time? Well, Kart Class has the answers for you. Our online portal has a wealth of experience and knowledge to help your kart racing. From kart setup advice to track guides that are targeted specifically to your circuit, or the driver coaching aspects with mindset, racecraft and driving techniques. If you want to take your karting to the next level, visit us at kartclass.com.
Gee, looks like we're missing the engine. What the hell am I supposed to tag?
What do you mean? It's my Greyhound. It's all I need.
Where's the rest of it?
It doesn't matter. It's a Greyhound.
You gotta make weight. Okay, you're good.
I'm sitting by here with Kyle, our race winner. Tell me how you did it. You were blazing fast out there, and I mean, you don't even have a go-kart, man. Tell me about it.
Yeah, you know, Norberg, Schmorberg, the Greyhound-powered Greyhound was great today. You know, it makes the difference. And the team's been working really hard back at the shop, and, you know, just shout out Greyhound.
Thank you, Kyle. How the f did you just win?
Doesn't matter. It's a Greyhound.
The K1 Circuit Semi-Pro League. This is a competitive race series with two classes. Junior Series for those who are under the age of 18, and the Senior Series for those who are 18 or older. If you think you have what it takes, come out and prove your skills on League Night. Both schedules are live on the K1 Circuit website. Your Kart Chaser live feed will resume shortly.
You know, I'm really starting to like this go-karting thing.
Yeah, me too. Oh my gosh, can I show you this cute dress I just got?
Yes, of course. Oh my goodness, it's so cute.
I just love shopping.
I love shopping too.
Oh my god.
Wait, did you guys say you like shopping?
Of
Yeah.
course.
Well, dude, I have the perfect place to do that at. ShopPayGara.com. At ShopPayKR.com, you can get free shipping on orders $200 or more. You can get anything you want, like MXC rims, gloves, rib vests, shoes, anything that you need, all at ShopPayKR.com.
Who is he talking to?
No idea.
But we're gonna have to check it out. Sounds like a great deal.
Sure does.
Florida kart racers, you asked for it, and we're going to bring it. Introducing Florida Karting Championship, FLPC, a brand new racing series coming to Florida in 2026.
Let's go race.
Come on, man.
Cat food marketing. $9.99 a month.
Dude, Caleb, wake up. Dude, we're live in 5 minutes. Let's go, come on. What are you doing?
Dude, I'm so sorry. Xander had me in a cat food marketing meeting till like 2 a.m. last night.
Come on, man.
Do you have anything I can drink?
Dude, I got the perfect thing for you. Perico, it's a healthy energy drink alternative.
Perico, non-GMO, gluten-free, kosher, magnesium, B12, B6,
Yeah, it's good.
B5, biotin, and zero sugar? Pericazo! Try Perico, made with natural ingredients, organic caffeine, and supports your metabolism. Try the new official energy drink of Kart Chaser.
This is Henry. Henry feels sad. Henry feels sad because it's time for his next big race and his go-kart is in bits. Henry doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing is the United States' #1 shop for all of your karting equipment needs. Henry also doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing can deliver anything from tires to race suits and even wheels directly to your front door or to the racetrack itself quickly and efficiently, with tech support available 6 days a week. Poor Henry doesn't even know that Acceleration Kart Racing offers free shipping to mainland USA on selected product if you spend $200 or more. Do yourself a favor. Go to accelerationkarting.com and make sure that you are never left stuck on the pre-grid with Henry. Be smart and don't be like Henry.
The K1 Circuit Semi-Pro League. This is a competitive race series with 2 classes. Junior Series for those who are under the age of 18, and the Senior Series for those who are 18 or older. If you think you have what it takes, come out and prove your skills on League Night. Both schedules are live on the K1 Circuit website. Your Kart Chaser live feed will resume shortly.
Hey, what's up, Caleb?
What's up, Brandon?
You sound defeated. A long day at the office?
Yeah, got stuck at a cat food marketing meeting for like 3 hours. I don't know a thing about cat food, and I don't even work in marketing. And then I got sent on a coffee run like I was some sort of intern. Then at the end of the day, when I want to go get gas, I just realized everything is so darn expensive nowadays, man.
Yeah, you got that right.
Like, do you have any idea how much we're spending on Netflix?
That's like $20 a month.
Do you know how much we're spending on cable?
That's like $50 a month.
But you know what isn't expensive?
Tell me.
Kart Chaser Premium.
For only $9.99 a month, you can watch all the American karting action live from coast to coast. Subscribe and become a member today.
Well, it's time to turn them loose. It's time to give out the big points. It's time to give out the big trophies. It's time for the feature racing here at the Indy Karting Challenge at the K1 Circuit in Whiteland, Indiana. Taylor Burris here with Jackson Lambros as we get set for your 206 Cadet Finals. And here is your starting lineup. James Fox is on the front row with Patrick McNeely in second. Bo Laser, Diesel Maxwell in row 2 with Reed Crampton and Kyler Hendrickson. Your 6-kart field. 10 minutes plus 2 laps. Jackson, we know one thing's for certain is who's going to finish second unless James Fox has an issue out there on the circuit. James Fox already pulls out ahead of the race lead here, but McNeely trying to keep pace with him as they battle on further back from fourth on back as they go single file heading into the opening corner to lead us onto the front straightaway. It's about a 2-kart length advantage between himself and McNeely. Maxwell sits third, Laser trying to catch back up as Crampton and Hendrickson go at it for position in fifth. Laser moving up to P3 as they snake their way over to the hairpin. Laser doing everything that he can here as they work their way down the back straightaway. McNeely trying to fight him off here as they head down into the braking zone. But for the driver of Bo Laser, really strong performance here in this stage of the race. Can he keep it, though, consistently through all the way to the checkered flag? That's going to be the tall question to ask here as they work their way out of the final corner, heading down the front straightaway. Single file, no pressure here. Just try to log some laps, get those tires up to temperature, and take care of them in order to make a last few lap charge here in the closing stages of the race. Meanwhile, Maxwell by himself has to hold off, worry about Reed Crampton and Kyler Hendrickson as those two battle it out for the 5th spot. I mean, you're talking about just how incredible the gaps are here in this race. We're not even halfway in today's race. James Fox has a 4-second advantage over Bo Laser and Patrick McNeely, but they're still putting on a stellar fight for the finish here as they work their way out of the final corner. Bo trying to hold strong as you see McNeely go a little bit too wide off corner exit there to lose a little bit of time. And there you see Crampton and Hendrickson for the 5th spot as they work their way over to turn 1 and 2. They both realize, I think it's safe to say, that they're not going to be able to catch James Fox, whether they work together or not. So it's now just a matter of, I want to be second, no, I want to be second, you be third type deal, and realize that it's just a battle amongst them here because unless something breaks from James Fox's machine, no commentator's curse intended, that is going to be the case here as they approach the halfway point next time by, plus an additional 2 laps. Looking through around the field to see who else can be on the move. We were watching Reed Crampton and Kyler Hendrickson, also some drivers to keep an eye on amongst them, still battling for 5th, as Laser has pulled about a 3 to 4 kart length advantage over McNeely for the time being, as he works his way through. For James Fox, 7.2 seconds ahead of these 2 competitors you see on screen. I think they both realize that it's time to maybe settle down, see if they can get ready for that final push to the finish as they work their way around the circuit. As we pick up James Fox, who is just out for his 2nd Saturday afternoon drive, looking to sweep the weekend once again in both the Mini and 206 Cadet category. Looking to clinch probably both championships, I would have to safe to say, as well for him as he looks to continue on with his lead, 3.5 minutes plus 2 laps. Could be, but so far, I mean, it's just incredible to see what he's trying to do around the circuit, and he is by far a driver we will want to see his career continuing to grow as he progresses further and further. Tyler Hendrickson did get around Reed Crampton for the 5th spot here last time by, as he's got 2 minutes to work up, but here comes the machine of McNeely to the inside, side-by-side battle for second. Laser trying to hold on to the defensive, but it's no avail as McNeely takes the spot away. Here they come here, a minute and a half to go as McNeely tries to hold on defensive. Bo Laser now has to figure out which way he could try to find his opening as we watch a little further back with Hendrickson. Maxwell also trying to close the gap, but he's pretty much in no man's land as he's trying to just make sure he can be there at the end with a good points day for him in 4th. As there they go, once again to the bottom. Laser completes the pass there on McNeely to hold on and retain the 2nd position. Real good drive right here by Bo Laser here as he's trying to pick up a little bit of extra time. James Fox sets the fastest lap of the race on lap number 10 with a 42.760. He's still running some very consistent lap times, almost a second faster than your 2nd and 3rd place competitors here with 30 seconds plus 2 laps to go as we watch Laser and McNeely trying to find their way around the circuit. Who can hold on ahead of the two as Laser still holds on the position. He gets back around the position as we watch on. Jackson, I got to say, Laser and McNeely are putting on the star-studded show of the day as they come out of the final corner with 6 seconds to go, 3 laps to go overall.
Just the battle we were kind of expecting earlier on. You remember the duel we saw between what was then a 3-kart battle with McNeely and Maxwell being a part of it as well. And I'm sure Diesel will be pondering what the difference was and how he wasn't able to work his way into this mix. But Bo Laser, Patrick McNeely, not just trading on track today, but trading in the championship. Here's another look as McNeely tries the inside, working through that final tower hairpin. What can the 538 do to try and work on by? It was a good move earlier on for Bo as we see the twin sticks this time by. This is your main battle on track. Fox already getting to Hendrickson and Crampton. Is there anything McNeely can do to take away P2? Good exit on the inside. Is there enough momentum for the inside of Daytona? Laser won't give him room.
Laser trying everything he can, but right now Laser has to be on the defensive, but McNeely puts the pressure back on him as they come through, and a big time swing. Laser sends it down on the bottom and retains the race lead here on the final lap as they come down towards the front straightaway. It is going to be James Fox who will come and take home the checkered flag as they work their way down here. He works up to the top of the hill, leading by his lonesome of 17-second advantage over McNeely and Bo Laser as he has just put on absolute barnstorming race, putting Hendrickson and Crampton a lap down before the checkered flag. And out of the final corner, James Fox once again will sweep the weekend in both of his respective classes here in the Indy Karting Challenge, and Top Kart USA returns to the top step of the podium.
Absolute domination from James Fox. We're not done yet because Patrick McNeely and Bo Laser continue to go at it. That's Hendrickson to the line. Should be Crampton next. And which of the two is that out in front? Did we see a last-minute move from Bo Laser to the line? No, McNeely able to fend Bo Laser off for P2.
with that, it's time to get set to go racing for your 206 Sportsman Division. Or actually, yeah, it is 206 Sport Division heading out on the track. But congratulations to James Fox for taking home another win here today in the Indy Karting Challenge. Here's your starting lineup. The 206 Sportsmen, it's Dominic Gaddis and Will Fightinger on the front row, with Blake Martinez and Leah Simonellic in row 2, Ari Berger and Christopher Heinzen in row 3, with Keelan Coots rounding out your 7-kart field as they get set to open the gates, release the karts, and go racing for 10 minutes plus 2 laps.
It's been all MPG out in front with Gavison. Will Fightinger. We'll have to see how that goes for these sportsmen coming into the final. They're filtered a little bit further back. Not sure if there's something we didn't hear about, but they absolutely dominated. They swept and should have locked out that front row. So curious what happened to Gaddis and company. Again, Blake Martinez, your championship leader right now, comfortable 300 and so point lead over Light Simonellic at 1349. 1301 is Christopher Heinzen. Those are your three in relative contention. You go back to Lincoln Wiley in P4, who unfortunately on attendance is filtered back significantly at about 800 points. So really a three kart race, 3-driver race at this point, but it might argue it really is Martinez's to lose at this point, Tay.
It really is. I mean, as long as Martinez keeps it clean and green, he is looking to take home the championship in this category. But Dominic Gaddis, I will say, and Will Fightinger may put on a good show for the battle for the race lead.
Here's how they'll line up. Blake Martinez alongside Light Simonellic, Chris Heinzen, Ari Berger, and then you will go back to Dominic Gaddis and Will Fightinger in P6. Kalen Coons rounding out your field of 7. So again, a very interesting battle between the two MPG boys at Grand Nats. We'll get into that here because those two are going to be leaning on each other a lot right after we see the green flag for 206 Sportsman Final.
Already, Martinez, Gaddis, and Simonellic all jockeying around for positioning here as they try to set themselves up for a good run. And already here comes the two MPGs as they try to get their way up to the front of the field. That is going to be Gaddis and Fightinger looking to fight their way up through the running order. Martinez, though, holding on to the race lead for the moment as he leads the charge heading into 1.
P2 for Fightinger. Martinez holds on to that lead. Simonellic losing a spot in that exchange. Where's Gaddis? He'll look to the inside, trying to clear Simonellic in that lime helmet. As further back, we try a lead change as another MPG able to successfully make a move for the time being. That top cart trying to hang on to that outside line will filter back, and just in the blink of an eye, it's back to an MPG 1-2.
Here they come onto the front straightaway here. Martinez, Fightinger, Simonellic, and Gaddis now as they work their way across the line. Fightinger leading the charge with his teammate Dominic Gaddis right behind him. A credible drive for the MPG karts as they look to try and do it once again. Just reverse the positioning between the two winners, but we saw as they climb up the banking of Daytona and head down the back straightaway. Martinez starting to lose touch. He's caught a hope if Simonellic can work with him and they keep up with the two MPG kart republics.
Those MPGs will have no interest in helping out Martinez or give him a chance to close that gap. So Martinez hoping that on his pace alone, he'll be able to close that gap. And if not, there's a little bit of extra pace in Light Simonellic that will see him able to get his way through. It's not looking great for the time being. It's going to take a lot of time made up right here in these tighter technical sections through the hairpin. The run up to Daytona going to be paramount to make this a possibility for Blake Martinez and Light Simonellic. It is an eerie repetition of what we saw last weekend at Newcastle Motorsports Park, an MPG 1-2 during the 206 Sportsman Final. Only it's the contrary of what we see on track. It was Dominic Gaddis being pushed by Feidinger the entirety of the final lap until the white flag, where it was a last complex of quarters move, and teammate passed teammate there for the win. We just now see that as Feidinger gets to the point.
Feidinger doing everything that he can here as they work their way around the circuit, as they work their way up to the Daytona banking. Martinez has a really good run, but how about Dominic Gaddis? Gets a good run with the help of the toe and is now trying to push his teammate down into the corner. So far, they continue to stretch out that race lead. It's over a second now, and it's going to be a matter of how long they can keep it like that as they continue to work together.
How about Blake Martinez still able to keep these two teammates pretty honest within 7/10 still? But that pushing for Feidinger to Gaddis really is helping. They've been trading who's been at the point a handful of times now. Feidinger last lap, Gaddis leading that most previous time across the stripe. And at this point, Martinez is just hoping that those two start to battle. He kind of knows that the two teammates won't, though.
Absolutely, as we watch on and see how those two teammates are continue to work together. Blake Martinez is also trying to stay in the hunt as well amongst the two of them as they try to work their way through. But for Leah Simonelik and Ari Berger and Keelan Kuntz, it's pretty much going to be just holding their position till the end here, unless something were to happen. 6 minutes plus 2 laps to go.
Fastest lap last time by Will Feidinger, a 41.767. It's about 2/10 up from Blake Martinez, who is effectively out of the draft distance. That kind of gives these two MPG guys weapons free if they want to go at it. But you got to imagine until they see the twin sticks, it's just going to be business as usual, just going bumper to bumper until they really, really are safe. They know they can battle without a threat of Martinez or Simonelik. Further back, only real change we've seen in order right now was Keelan Kuntz, who made a move early on Christopher Heinzen. He dropped back to P6. Kuntz up into P7, or excuse me, inverse of that, as we do see potentially a look to the lead here from Feidinger, not quite yet.
Feidinger doing everything that he can to hold off Gaddis and try to get back around for the race lead, but Gaddis will find his way and maintain the race lead as those two will duke it out a little bit. They have a little bit of breathing room for Martinez, but they don't want to battle too much because that will bring Blake Martinez back into the hunt and a chance to take one away from the MPG boys as they cross the line. Gaddis still holds on to the race lead as Feidinger now actually, as timing and scoring readjusted, shows Feidinger is once again back up in the front of the field as Martinez 2 seconds behind your race leaders.
Only his his second weekend Dominic Gaddis has ran, and the Indy Karting Challenge was here opening week. P2 in the Heat, P4 in the final, trying to get his first win here at Whiteland. Continuing to put the pressure on Will Feidinger. It's been these two operating in a pair, and for those of you who have been with us will remember it was Feidinger winning that opening week. It was a heavy reliance on teamwork for both of these MPG boys to fight to the front, stay at the front, and it wasn't until the closing laps that they were able to really take the gloves off and go at it with one another. And I'm sounding like a broken record here, but maybe not, because we've got another look for Gaddis trying to work a way around that 210 machine. Not quite yet. Still that red helmet of Feidinger out in front.
Yeah, Gaddis trying to do everything that he can to hold on here as he is trying to get his positioning back from Feidinger, but Feidinger just being smooth, holding his line, placing the cart where he wants to as he hops over the curb a little bit right there. Don't want to do that too often because that could upset the cart pretty quickly as they work their way through. And so far, single file, they have stretched out that lead to 2.8 seconds over Blake Martinez. Simonelik is about 3 seconds behind the third place driver Martinez, as well as Ari Berger 4 seconds back. So there really is no other battles but this battle for the race lead, which we hopefully will start to see improve a little bit more, but know that we won't see it until that final lap as they try to continue to pull away from Blake Martinez.
See Feidinger also running in the Route 66 Sprint Series in this exact kart, this exact power plant. Same can be said as he started to work his way into the national level stuff, running in the US Pro Karting Series for a handful of rounds, on and off working on the national level stuff, but slowly building his way up there. Dom Gaddis, a guy we're a little bit more familiar seeing on the MCC side of things, but a lot more prevalent for the time being at the national level. Both of these guys, though, whenever they race with one another, whenever they're on the same ribbon of racetrack, it is amazing chemistry between these Kart Republic pilots.
Well, because they, one, have to take care of their equipment. They're two team drivers who are working together. They don't want to break the #1 rule when it comes to racing with your teammate, cause an incident that prevents either one of you from winning the race. Granted, the MP groups at MPG is very fun. It's a good group of people, and I know that they allow their team drivers to race against each other hard. Just don't make that mistake of taking each other out and causing someone else to win the race. That's going to be the key importance, and so far, that's what they're doing right now. They're continuing to stretch out that race lead, as in fact, it's now 4.2 seconds between themselves and Martinez, so they're going to continue to stretch it out, see if they can find a way to where towards the end, then they'll start raising the boxing gloves up and go at a couple of rounds here for the final few laps.
Starting to get the feeling that this powder keg is just bound to explode at some point. And Gaddis still has it figured out. Best lap of 41.382. Fastest lap on the day so far. You get the feeling that the Kentucky kid has something under his belt, but it's only a matter of when he will deploy it. And the opportunity to seek some friendly revenge on what happened at Newcastle just last weekend. 22 seconds to go. Still Feidinger out in front. Gaddis with a little bit of a peak, but another major shove here down the back straightaway.
They want to make sure they have plenty of room to battle it out because they are coming to get the 2-lap to go signal here. And here they come down to the bottom of the racetrack. Does Gaddis clear Feidinger? I think it might be a little bit too late. He's not going to be able to make it work. Let's see what happens as they come out of the final corner to get the 2 sticks in the air. And across the line they will go. It's time to go for 2 rounds of boxing between these 2 young superstars as they cross the line. And Feidinger still holds on by just under 1/10 of a second.
Don't think there's been a single shot this weekend where both MPG karts aren't in it. Another big shove to Gaddis. No move yet. It'll be the run to the white flag this time by. And it's always been right here where we've seen the pop out from Gaddis. He's trying to set up that crossover and get a good run out of the final corner. Here he goes again, trying to swing it wide, get that late apex, use that final corner as a launch pad. Still can't get it done. Feidinger shutting the door. It'll be the white flag this time by. It's one of the MPG karts looking for victory, and a late lunge from Dominic Gaddis as they try to go. Feidinger still with the inside line. Gaddis trying to make that outside line work. Now tries the crossover into Daytona. Which one is up ahead? It's still that red helmet of Will Feidinger out in front.
Gaddis trying to set something up now. He's going to go around the long way. This will give him the inside advantage in that next corner. Can't quite make it work. Gaddis down to the bottom. Now he has the outside lane here through the triple, but here comes Feidinger to hold strong around there through the final corner here. Can he swing it out long enough to get to the inside quickly?
Here we go.
It's going to be a drag race between the 2 MPGs. Feidinger on the top, Gaddis on the bottom as they come to the start-finish line. Gaddis might irk it out. He does with the race win here in 206 Sportsman.
Blake Martinez bringing the hardware home, and the MPG squad is amped up. Another 1-2 finish after Whiteland, but this time, Dom deals vengeance on Feidinger. 206 Masters next here at Indy.
Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today.
Hi, I'm Jackson with Alpha Race Hub. Alpha is an all-in-one motorsports software solution that can solve all the software problems you need for your track, facility, or series. Alpha can cover all your software bases, from online registration, digital e-waivers, a proprietary timing and scoring software, incident management, automated points tabulation, tire and barcode scanning. We even have our own mobile timing app and rental kart activity management software. If you're looking to consolidate your motorsports software solutions, reach out to us at alphatiming.co.uk.
Are you looking to take the next step in your racing journey? Well, look no further than PitFit.
With 2 locations in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Indianapolis, Indiana, PitFit trains drivers all the way from grassroots level karting to Indy Kart and NASCAR, with top-of-the-line personalized coaching to improve physical and cognitive fitness.
For more information on programs, check out PitFit on Instagram or Facebook today.
Battle fight starting to ramp up here for your 206 Masters. It is Evan McCorkadale, still your championship leader, but Troy Toney, a mere 6 points back. That looks like a neck guard that might have ended up on the pit exit. I'm hoping that's not someone's out on track, because we've got ourselves a 206 Masters final to run here.
We certainly do. As the field works their way around the circuit here, it's going to be Evan McCorkadale and Troy Toney, and Willie McLaughlin, AJ Coldata, Brian Williams, Melvin Goodsey, Michael Schaefer, Tyler Deeman, and Clint Stillwell here to start off your 206 Masters.
This was one of the spicier pre-finals we had about an hour and a half ago, and it was a hard-charging Troy Toney and Evan McCorkadale putting a stop to the dominance this morning William McLaughlin and J. Brian Williams had in this AM session. But it is your title fight on the front row. Toney on the inside, McCorkadale on the outside. 9 points with the drop round separating the two of them. Are we going to see a breakaway? Can Toney take the lead? Let's find out. Let's go racing for the 206 Masters.
Here they go down into the corner, and they work their way around the circuit. Toney has a good jump of the race lead here as McCorkadale tries to fight his way around the outside. It's not going to work as Toney will take over the race lead, and here comes Coldata to move up to P3 as McLaughlin tries to fight his way through with the battle for fourth.
Opens up the door to Melvin Godse, who got hung up on a big error in this very corner during the heat, got thrown out. One kart's around at the hairpin. Another having to go all the way around, trying to not gather him up, as I believe that might have been Godse. Another car collected. That, I believe, is Damon. That might be Tyler Damon.
We'll find out when they come across the line here next time by, but I think that might have been McLaughlin because I see a 6 on that number. But we'll find out soon as McQuarkadale and Tony battle it out for the race lead. Coldata now tries to work his way up to second place here, as here comes McQuarkadale back to the bottom of the racetrack to complete the pass and retake the race lead here in 206 Masters across the line, as now Coldata tries to get around Tony and does for second place. And as timing and scoring is showing, Brian Williams, Tyler Demon, and Clint Stillwell. So it looks like Clint Stillwell out of the race.
How about AJ Coldalata, man? This guy in the 4 has been wowing us. One of the newer names to IKC. And whether it was Legends or Supermasters this morning, or right here in the Masters, he has come out of the gate swinging. Fastest lap last time through a 42.606. And he continues that forward charge. So too does William McLaughlin, just slots in front of, I believe that's Melvin Godse at top of the helmet, saying, hey, let's work together and get to this 3-pack right in front of us. Still McCorkadale in that gold cart out in front.
Workadale trying to do everything he can, but they are approaching lap traffic of Clint Stillwell, who finally got fired back up to continue on with his race. But that's going to still cause a little hindrance to see how quickly they can work their way around that lap car. McCorkadale leading the charge as Coldata takes over the race lead as they head into the banking, or heading into the corner. And so far, Coldata picking up where he left off. Can he, though, capitalize and make it work all the way through is the question as they come out of the final corner.
Coldalata to the point for the first time today. And here comes Willie Mack in that 656 kart, just like that, working his way into the mix. Lap traffic just ahead. That's the number 3 of Clint Stillwell. He'll park it middle of the track. That checks everybody up. Oh my goodness. Parks it right on the racing line, and that brings everybody right into the mix. This will be problems for Troy Toney, as all of a sudden Willie McLaughlin is right there. This is phenomenal news for Evan McCorkadale, who's got a kart or so between himself and his championship adversary. Still Coldalata out in front, a peek to the outside for McCorkadale as he tries to get to the point. That leaves the door open, though, for Tony as he tries to work on through.
He's trying everything he can to make it work, and as they do so, coming into the first corner, Coldalata and McCorkadale. Tony trying to push his way through to get into the second place as McLaughlin and Goodsey. Also, as here comes down to the inside, 3 wide as they come up to the Daytona banking. That's going to cost a couple of spots for McLaughlin as he drops back.
McLaughlin tried too big of a chunk there out of Daytona, got washed offline, and as a result, Tony and Godsafe slipped on through. Another peek there from McCorkadale trying to take the point from Coldalata. He's got to be careful because there's a 24 kart of Troy Toney that is chomping at the bit for the opportunity to get some championship points and try and get to McCorkadale. We'll see what they can do. They found themselves right on track, or on the same piece of track, I should say. Once more, Coldalata still out in front. Willie McLaughlin actually the fastest man on track now at 41.739 is struggling to keep up with them. Melvin Godse working his way in the mix. We haven't talked about him at all today. He's got a great chance at the podium now.
He certainly does. He's going to try to find his way through here as he tries to find the opening. But for Coldata, McCorkadale, Tony Goodsey, though, taking over that 3rd spot. He may have to try for more as he gets a good run out of the final corner, gets tucked up behind McCorkadale, and seeing if he can capitalize and move up to P2.
And just like that, thanks to the draft, Willie Mack works his way back into the mix. And it will be that number 2 kart of Godsafe first on the menu. Out of Daytona, we've seen a good run from McCorkadale here a couple times. He'll look to the inside, going into the first of the tower hairpins. Not able to get it done just yet. Tony looking to pick up the scraps just behind in that white and black 24 kart. Using all the grip that Rhino Liner has on tap, and all of a sudden, You see Gotzi and McLaughlin starting to fade just a little bit here. Halfway home in the 206 Masters Final.
Halfway home indeed, and can Coldata hold on here? But here comes McCorkadale and Tony with a big run as they try to set themselves up out of Daytona. He comes up through the banking here. Does McCorkadale pull the trigger and go for it, or does he wait for the time to make the run and just try to see if he can pull away? Tony's going to stay tucked up behind him as well, shows the nose, not going to do anything just yet.
Godsey on a smidge of an archipelago right now. But the Indianapolis kid from MGM and Lawson Engines trying to do everything he can to close this gap for the podium. His first start of the season behind the wheel of that number 2 kart, and is going to need a hefty push from McLaughlin behind. Looks like J. Brian Williams is indeed back out on track. He's going back and forth just a little bit further back with Michael Schaefer. That's the battle for P6. Very offline further back, Godsey. That'll give McLaughlin an opportunity. He won't take it. Another little bit of a peak further up from McCorkadale. Still, AJ Codalata out in front.
Coldata trying to do everything he can. He's got 3.5 minutes plus 2 laps to try to make it stick for him as McLaughlin sets fastest lap of the race. Does he have what it takes? We know he's got that long run pace where he's strong at the end, but does he have enough time is the question.
Another bit of a peak. How much of a help will Tony be? Very much, using all of that bumper to push the 191 to the inside of Codalata. Is there enough momentum there to finally clear him through the switchback, nearly 3 wide as Tony tries to go with him? He'll carry that momentum all the way to the outside. Can he turn that into a dive bomb, a hang and switch? Not quite, but now McLaughlin wants to take a move on Godsey. The 5-pack has gotten back up together. We've reassembled the boy band with 2.5 minutes to go. It's still Codalata out in front.
Codalata still trying to hold on. McCorkadale, Tony, McLaughlin, Godsey, all there capitalizing each other, seeing if they can find the way, that nick in the armor to break through and come out on top. As they head down the back straightaway, here comes McLaughlin and Goodsey working together, trying to see if they can close the gap to Tony, while McCorkadale continues to push the buttons of Coldata and see if he can take over the race lead.
Absolute domination. Off rip from AJ Codalata to get things started. Here comes another peak from McCorkadale. Is there enough momentum on exit? Not quite. Has to peek back in at the apron. Into turn 1 we go for the 11th time. And all of a sudden, Troy Tony under fire from William McLaughlin further back. Great news for Evan McCorkadale, as again, major championship points up for grabs right now if Troy Tony is able to clear McCorkadale. That's why we saw that aggression earlier on. That shove from the championship competitor to his main opponent was potentially one to open up a move later on. Are we going to see a similar move, or will we see some coexistence from these two? Only time will tell. 90 seconds on the clock. We'll get the twin sticks after that.
Absolutely. Can we see a last lap pass, a last corner pass? We're going to find out within just about 2 minutes or so as they come up through the final hairpin here, making the run up towards Daytona. McCorkadale just biding his time. He knows he's got a little bit of room to work with. No pressure. He's got a little help from Tony if he fires off. He's got to be ready to make that, and hopefully Tony will fire off with him. But now Tony looks to the inside of him. He tries to get second away, contact a little bit there as they bang bumpers right there, gather it back up, and continue on their way with McLaughlin right there in the hunt. 3 wide as they come out of the final corner, and that might be it because Coldata has checked out from these 4.
And McCorkadale drops like a stone as a result. P2 to P5, and that might be the move that shows us a change in the championship. Through goes Godfrey. McLaughlin massively offline. Now he'll drop to P5. McCorkadale up into 4th. Nobody home for AJ Coldata, and everybody's going to need to work together if they have a fighting chance at the top step of this podium.
They got everything to give here as they come around the final few corners. Who will be able to make it through? Do we get the popsicle sticks this time by? I think we might be able to as they come out of the final couple of corners here. White 2 laps to go this time by, and Coldata has now about a second advantage over Troy Tony as he tries to pull away. Troy Tony's got a little bit of work to do. 7/10 is the difference.
A little bit of a peek to the outside there at Scotsy, trying to get his podium on debut this season, but he's got a very antsy Willie Mack just behind in that 656. Still no pressure for Codolata as we see the run into the tower hairpin for the penultimate time. There's Codolata, there's Tony, there is everybody else in the battle for that bottom step of the podium. AJ out in front, everybody in trying to take that lead has ended up battling with one another and taken out contention. There's been no coexistence from second back to fifth, and it'll be a melee for the remainder of the podium. White flag for the 206 Masters.
White flag indeed. Can Codolata finally capitalize and get that win? We're going to find out as they come up to the banking of Daytona for the final time. Heading down the back straightaway, Tony just about 0.4 of a second behind, but running out of options and places to pass. He needs to have a smooth entrance into the corner if he wants to try and challenge here in the final couple of corners. Tony gets a good run, but not close enough. Codolata looking to try and maintain and get his first career win here at the start in 206 Masters. Final corner, checkered flag in the air. Give the race win to AJ Codolata. Finally gets the win here to wrap up the 206 Masters.
Troy Tony putting up a heck of a fight though. 62 thousandths. The gap between first and second, and Evan McCorkadale unable to be in front of his main opponent in this title fight for the 206 Masters. That might put Troy Tony to the point with 2 rounds remaining. Melvin Godsey, P4, nothing to shake your stick at in his first race of the season. Willie McLaughlin rounding out your top 5. Last 2-stroke event of the day coming up with KA Junior Final.
And it's now time for your KA Junior category. Here's your starting lineup. Jordan Lapin on the pole position with Andrew Avelos second. Third is Lucian Laser with Mason Galen, Nolan Wade, and Mason Ward. Your 6 competitors here in your KA Junior category. Lapin, Avelos, and Laser are going to be the ones to watch for sure, as they have put on a good run in their heat race and in qualifying today. So we'll see how this all plays out amongst them as they come to start and head into the tram line.
Only 200 points separating Galen back to Avalos, so going to be very interesting to see. 1830 for Galen. This is counting your drop rounds. 1738. No joke intended there for Lucian Laser. And Andrew Avalos back in third at 16:15. Again, Laser trying to return that dominant 2:06 pace he had this morning from row number 2. Let's see if he's got it, and let's see if we got a shakeup in the championship standings. KA Junior is green.
And already Lapin, Avelos, Laser, and Galen all jockeying around for positions as they come out of the first opening corners to start the lap. And as they head down the front straightaway, give the race lead over to the driver of Jordan Lapin as he leads this into one.
Nip and tuck for the opening handful of corners. A little bit wide there goes Avalos. That'll give an opportunity to Laser, but Galen has some really good momentum right now on that P3 800 kart. Still no moves here as we work our way into the hut for the maiden time. As a little bit of a trade further back, looks like Mason Ward able to snatch P5 from Nolan Wade. But out front, it's still Jordan Lapine who will lead them. Avalos in second, Laser in third.
Let's see how this all plays out amongst them. They've still got quite a bit of racing to go as the two top karts trying to see if they can work together. Galen and Laser as they're lined up nose to tail. They got Avelos in their sights as they set themselves up for a run down the back straightaway. Not really a whole lot of momentum base for these KA categories compared to what we saw with the 206s, but they can still be a big benefactor as here comes Laser down to the bottom of Avelos. Could not make it work as Avelos gets a better run off corner exit, crosses over side by side as Laser takes the spot away from Avelos.
Two top karts going at it. Two championship contenders going at it, and that will be a good chunk of points for Lucian Laser. And all of a sudden, you look at Mason Galen, fourth outright, still your championship points leader. He needs to make a move on these two as soon as he can. This is the number one spot for Lucian to try and move forward and try and narrow this gap heading into the penultimate 2 rounds. You look further back, still no pressure for Jordan Lapine, half a second up right now over these two top karts. That OTK Lando Norris machine of Andrew Avalos in the middle, but it's still top kart domination if Galen can work his way back into the mix. Oh, trouble! Oh my goodness! This is gonna be a major shakeup in the championship! Trouble for the 64 Mason Galen!
Galen out of contention here. That is going to change the whole running order for the championship with 2 races left to go. Opens the door as Lapin, Laser, and Avelos lead us here as now Laser tries to find his way around, and he does so. A little bit of a bump and a run, though, between him and Avelos as Avelos gets to the bottom of the racetrack to push him out of the way.
We're now watching what could be the battle for the championship lead. It could have been a worst of P4. That would have at least kept him middle of second place, within striking distance of Galen or Avalos. This could drop him easily down to, say, Jordan Lapine in P4 at 1,500 points. This is absolutely terrible for the championship hopes for that 64. You look at this championship picture now, though. Laser versus Avalos, 1738 versus 1615. As much as 200 points to give out to P1, and 180 to P2. A really, really good opportunity here for Avalos and Laser to try and close that gap to one another.
Absolutely here. He's got a little bit of work to do as we pick up Lapin and Avelos. Seeing if something happened over here in the back half of the course. Don't see anything. As there comes your leaders. Lapin has about a second advantage over Avelos. Laser about half a second behind, with Ward trying to close the gap. Wade by his lonesome here in these halfway point of the race.
New Gen Motorsports driver from Greenwood, Indiana, in clean running out in front. Guy we've seen a lot in CKNA North in Route 66. But on top of all of that, full-time IKC guy. He is P4 in the championship despite missing out the first 2 rounds as well as missing rounds 8 through 9. But with him running out in front and now Mason Galen out of the picture, he could very much be in this championship fight as well. I still need to do the math in my head here, and us being commentators, we are people of words, not people of numbers. So we'll get an answer to you hopefully by the end of the day. Lucian Laser now with the fastest lap at 37.710. He's got some phenomenal pace there to potentially clear Andrew Avalos. Again, potentially a duel for the new championship leader with 2 rounds to go.
Absolutely here, and that's the one thing you got to learn, Jackson. When we're doing these kinds of shows, we don't do math. Math is not our job.
Great exit. Watch Laser here coming out of the final corner. Are we going to see a move into turn number 1? Not yet, but man, Laser has certainly worked his way into contention. A little bit of a bobble there from Avalos over the curbs in turn 1. This is continuing to keep that 800 in contention. Mason Ward getting the promotion up to P4 after the retirement of Galen. That leaves us down to 5 karts overall. You still got Ward and Wade further back, kind of on an archipelago. Everybody's still within striking distance of one another here. You feel like they're saving something for the end here at this point, Taylor.
I would have to agree with you. He is trying to make sure he is there where it capitalizes, and with still 4 minutes plus 2 laps left to go in the race, a lot can really happen here. Those tires can start to come into play a little bit more. Watch and see how quickly he starts closing up. Avalos just set the fastest lap of the race last time by as well, so he's got pace. He's just maybe got to figure out when he can fire off and challenge for the race win.
Another fastest lap. This time it's Andrew Avalos with a 37.403. Half a second now separates himself and Le Pen as he continues to work his way in. You look further back now, Laser actually starting to fade. 1.8 the gap. Was there a little bit too much that was given away at the start from the 800? We'll have to wait and see. Avalos starting to chip away at that lead that Le Pen has had this entire race.
Field now works their way over to the final couple of corners. 3 minutes to go, and looks like Avalos is closing. Lapin trying to see, as here comes Avalos with a big head of steam of that Lando Norris car. Is he going to try to set something up here out of the final couple of corners here? Looks around, tries to go the outside, gets back into line as they cross over here into the hairpins. Really good pace that he's got, but he's just got to find that right opening to make it work for him.
Avalos just graduating from the Swifts this year, going up into the bigger chassis. Here's a little bit of a peek to the inside as Avalos is absolutely there, looking for his first win since round 6. It would be win number 2 after getting his first in round 2. I'll tell you what though, Jordan Le Pen still looking to lock in victory number 2, trying to go seek his first of the season. Has been on the podium once in round 6, has not stood on the top step. This could change in just 2 minutes and 2 laps.
Absolutely, it certainly can. Avalos has got the pace and the speed. In fact, last time by, him and Jordan Lapin had set identical lap time, so they have the pace of each other. But the thing is, who is going to be able to pull off and be on the defensive the best as they work their way through that Lando Norris kart of Avalos, really putting on a show here as they work their way through. Probably about 4 laps to go left in the race.
AMAX versus New Gen, Haas versus OTK. A little bit of a look to the outside there. Now a late apex from Avalos as he tries to find a way past that 818. 70 seconds to go in the KA Junior Final. We've got more drama than a middle school lunch table. Your championship leader, Mason Galen, out on lap number 3 with mechanical issues. And we could very much be seeing the battle for your new championship leader. Le Pen 4th in the standings with a win could certainly rocket himself, if not to the front, within contention for the final 2 rounds. They are bumper to bumper with 45 seconds to go.
45 seconds, and it's going to be exciting to see how this all plays out amongst these 2 drivers. Avalos has what it takes, but does he have the time as they work their way down the back straightaway here? Big run coming. Can he find his opening down on the bottom? He closes in on the back bumper. Does not fire off just yet. He's going to have to just follow suit and see how it all plays out as they work their way through the final couple of corners. 3 laps to go.
It'll be the twin sticks next time by. And it has been a whole effort for that 7 Lando Norris chassis of Avalos to just get to the rear bumper of the 818 of Le Pen. But that driver from Greenwood out in front is going to do everything he can to make the effort of getting past even more difficult. Middle of the track, no defense from Le Pen. He's got confidence in the pace that's still in that Kart and will hold it for the time being. Avalos still looking for any opening on exit, but won't do it. Twin sticks out. We'll do it 2 more times here at Indy.
Here they come across the line, and Lapin now just trying to hold steady against the competitor of Avalos as they work their way through around the circuit and head down up to Daytona, down the back straightaway here as they come to get the white flag next time by as they enter into the braking zone. Avalos looking to try to get on the back bumper and stay as tucked up. He sends it to the bottom. Does he make it stick? No, crosses over around the outside, and he will take over the race lead here at IKC as he leads them down out of the final couple of corners. White flag in the air for Andrew Avalos.
And he is fired out like a cannon, Taylor. Look at the gap that he has already put, half a second on Le Pen. It'll be a monster lap to see if he can take it back. Is this a move that maybe came 1 lap, a handful of corners too soon? We'll wait and see. But Avalos out in front is alive and well. It's the first time all day we've seen Avalos with a clean nose under that OTK. Through the S's for the final time. There's no striking distance yet for Le Pen. Out of the S's for the final time. What a comeback drive. Andrew Avalos from P2 will take victory in the KA Junior Final. Le Pen home in second.
Incredible drive we saw there on the final lap for Andrew Avalos to take home the checkered flag and get some much valuable points. I got to say, Avalos was one to watch, and I knew he had something lined up. He just wanted to wait to the right opportune time to fire off and get that win away.
Very possible that Avalos is your new leader, but with a P3 finish for Lucian Laser, it's possible that he too would be your championship leader coming into round 11. Avalos, your winner. Le Pen, Laser, Ward, and Wade, your top 5. Mason Galen down 15 laps with a mechanical issue. The curtain call from round 10 coming up next when we send out the 206 senior lights.
It is now time for your final race here on Kart Chasers coverage of the day. It's going to be Adam Maxwell and Braden Heber on the front row with Caden Worf and Colton Kelly in row 2. Colin Hardin and Gage Giustiano in row 3 with Tyler Sims and Gavin Holtum in row 4. Andrew Goldman and Ethan Williams round out your top 10.
Another highly anticipated heavyweight bout here between Kelly and that number 8 machine of Braden Haber. And you look further back, Caden Worf looking for his time in the sunlight. He's been waiting in the wings all day long. This could be the time we see him out in front. Adam Maxwell, relatively new to IKC, has been phenomenal all day so far. 10 karts in this field. And again, another championship fight potentially, with Colton Kelly having to move forward to try and close that gap in the points to Braden Haber. What can he do from P4? Can Haber stop that bleeding and get that victory he's been looking for all afternoon long? We'll do it one more time for 10 laps, for 10 minutes and 2 more laps. One more time, green flag for the 206 light. Maxwell able to get away. LePayne trying to swing it around. Haber trying the late apex there and launch onto the front straightaway. He's not able to get there. Here comes Worf and Kelly further behind, trying to make a move. Nobody get a move on position to finish lap 1. Your lone dropper, Gavin Halston, going back from P8 to P10. Nothing up front.
Everyone's single file, not wanting to push the envelope just yet. We still have quite a bit of racing. They know that they still have many opportunities to try and make that pass. I think it's all about trying to find your dance partner, get ready to try to see if you can pull away from the guy behind you, and look their way around to see if they can set something up. Heber and Maxwell are currently Group 1, Worf and Kelly Group 2, then you have Giustiano and Hardin in Group 3.
Here we go, and enters the discussion of 206 etiquette. What's the strategy going to be here between Heber and Maxwell? Does he want to get to the point, or is he going to keep shoving that 41 to give themselves some battle insurance? This is very similar, though, to what we saw in the heat about an hour and a half ago. Everybody kind of breaking up with a dance partner. Maxwell and Heber, you got Worf and Kelly further back, and then Hardin and Giustiano going at it as well. Not too much teamwork, it seems. It's just everybody kind of coexisting on the same part of the racetrack with one another.
Certainly seems to be the case here. Everyone's just trying to log some laps here, not push the envelope. There's still quite a bit of racing, a lot of passing opportunities. You don't want to battle too much and bring everybody back together and compress to where you could have even more crazy incidents that are to happen, especially if you're someone like Heber and Maxwell. They're working together, trying to make passes on each other, not trying to battle, just lock bumpers on the straights, pull away, set yourself up for a good final 2-lap run.
It's the head honcho of AMAX Racing, Adam Maxwell, out in front. Something that seems a little bit slower for speed after a very long time driving two-strokes. Been doing this since age 9. As he continues to hold off Braden Heber further back. This has become a 4-kart freight train for the bottom spot on the podium. Caden Warif leading Colton Kelly, Bullen Hardin, and Gage Giustiano. How much are those guys going to shuffle with one another, or with teamwork? Can they close that 2-second gap to Heber?
They're trying everything that they can here as they work their way around the circuit. Maxwell Heber just continuing to stretch out the race lead. It's currently almost 2 seconds. That's exactly what they needed to do in order to maintain and pull away from the rest of the competition.
PW kart of Braden Heber trying to close that gap. As further back, that gap is growing significantly between Warif and Heber. Was about 1.5 seconds last go around, 1.8 seconds, 2.5 now to start lap at number 5. So these guys are really going to have to go bumper to bumper if they want any shot at closing that gap to P2. But these guys are going to continue to push each other to safety, Heber and Maxwell.
Six minutes on the clock as Caden Warf has moved up a couple of positions into third. Kelly Giustiano rounding out your top 5. A lot of things still to go as we watch and see as Warf and Kelly starting to get a little bit more help from Giustiano to see if they can try to hunt down your top 2.
Gotta be so frustrating for Colton Kelly, who sees Heber up the road and does not have a group of guys willing to help. You see an attempt there from Kelly trying to lead the pack with a peek inside of that number 4 kart through the S, is just not able to get a move done just yet. Another thought of a move there as we head down the back straightaway. That 38 kart still not able to make a move, and all of a sudden Justiniano trying to make a move as well. Very quickly though, you see that 11 kart of Harden working into the mix as well. Another big shove from Haber to the 41. It is 3.8, nearly 4 seconds separating these two groups.
It's incredible to see how this all plays out through the race here as we're watching Maxwell and Heber continuing to pull away from the rest of the field, but a lot of things still to go in this battle as we watch also and keep an eye on the battle for P3 between Ward, Kelly, and Justiniano as we watch Maxwell lead the charge here and really putting on a stellar drive, just taking care of that stuff. Heber working with him as they continue to stretch out that race lead over 4.5 seconds.
Another 6/10 put on between that duo out in front and this foursome further back, and it starts to become a breakaway for Caden Wharf in P4 as Colton Kelly starts to get thrown to the wolves. We actually saw a move earlier on. It's Colin Harden who passed Gage Justiniano for P5, so that's that kart in the middle of that pack with the black helmet just behind Colton Kelly. So the first big shuffle we've had in this race, still nothing out in front as the 50-some mile an hour game of cat and mouse continues to go on with 4 minutes on the clock.
Field works their way down the back straightaway here as Maxwell and Heber still continue to log laps around the circuit. No pressure whatsoever. As there you see that second group of Wharf, Kelly, and Harden at the tail end of the screen as they head down into the final corner. Under 4 minutes to go. And I got to say, Heber's just being very patient. Got to give him credit for working with Maxwell. I was expecting him to go for it pretty early and let him be the rabbit in this race, but he decides to be more patient, wait until the opportune time to strike, possibly.
You got to ask if this is the position Maxwell would want to be in. Does he want to be the pusher, or does he want to be the tip of the spear here? I think being at front, you have far less of a responsibility, but you're also in so much less control. You're kind of at the mercy of the guy behind you and how fast he is, how capable he is of breaking ahead. Whether it's working or not, Heber's doing a phenomenal job, or whether it's what he wants or not. I can't English right now. Heber doing a phenomenal job of pushing him clear. 40.823 that last time by 41.584 for Wharf as we start to see this four-pack further back start to go into 2x2s. Wharf and Kelly, Harden, and Justiniano.
Justiniano, Harden, and Kelly and Wharf really putting on a stellar fight here amongst the four of them as they work their way down into the back straightaway. Can Kelly find an opening? He's going to try to see what he can do. Nope, stays tucked up behind, no pressure. Wants to realize that they still got quite a bit of racing left as they try to work their way through, but they are losing touch with your race leader. 6.5 seconds separates them.
Battle for P3. It's been Wharf the vast majority of this race since the drop of the green. It has, but when is this powder keg going to explode? We're already starting to see the smoke pour out of the barrel. We've seen a couple looks further back from, I believe that's a Coyote of Colin Harden. We've seen a couple of swaps further back from a hard-charging Ethan Williams, but nothing quite yet. A little bit of breathing room now as Adam Maxwell starts to turn up the burner a smidge in that 41. No pushing, no bumper to bumper. Here's your remainder of the field. Wharf, Kelly, Harden, and Justiniano.
Same thing as we're seeing at the front of the field. Everyone's just waiting and biding their time, not pushing the envelope on who will come out in the position of their choosing as they try to work their way around the circuit here out of the Daytona corner. Wharf and Kelly lock bumpers once again to try to pull away from Harden and Justiniano.
About 3 laps to go here in our 206 light final. We thank all of you for tuning in, whether you're trackside here at Whitelands Motorsports Park, K1 Circuit Whiteland, or tuning in around the world as a KC Premium member. Again, a handful of IKC rounds PSRS, and more to come for the month of October. And of course, the big kahuna with Supernats at Vegas come November. Here's another look for P4 from Kelly as he tried to clear Wharf, not able to get that move done. Further back, that's actually gave an opportunity for Harden in that 11 to try the outside. He drops back as a result. Everybody falls back as a result of that kind of domino move. And we'll stay single file. It'll be the twin sticks out next time by.
Yeah, looking at the time as they come across the start-finish line. Yeah, 2 laps to go next time by for your leaders as Colton Kelly drops back to P5 after all that chaos, loses a couple of positions. And now we will pick up our race leaders who are approaching the back straightaway. Heber falls off a little bit from Maxwell. He's got a little bit of work to do. Can he make it work in the final few laps?
Amax absolutely dominating out in front. Is there anything that Haber has for that with that CW kart machine? Not sure. It'll be 2 laps to go. And this is the contention that Haber's fought himself for this entire race. Kelly able to pass Colin Harden again for P4. He leads that pack and has a little bit of a breakaway. No insurance, though, as they'll be gathered up almost immediately come the end of that straightaway out of Daytona. White flag next time by. Is this where we start to see a move from Heber? A little bit of a peak there coming out of the final corner, but Maxwell starting to break away. He's got to do it one more time, and 206 light victory will be his for the first time in 2025.
How about the pace that Braden Heber has? Not this lap, but the last lap by. He set the fastest lap of the race by almost 1/10 of a second, but he is running out of options, running out of time as they head out of Daytona for the final time down the back straightaway. He might be able to get a good tow from the draft to see if he can slingshot past Maxwell, but he's running out of room. He heads into the braking zone for the final time, gets a good run, but not having the run he needs to close the gap. Is kind of stalled a little bit. Here he comes. Will we see a big send in the final corner? The answer is no. And for Adam Maxwell, from flag to flag, he will take home a victory here in your 206 Lights division.
Getting dicey further back. We won't know who's on the bottom step of the podium until they get there. They were 2 by 2. We're nearly 3 wide. Warif out in front. It's Harden who got himself into the mix as well. Who's got it? Colin Harden, by a hair, is able to get his way onto the podium. Warif home in 4th. Gage Justiniano in 5th. Colton Kelly drops way back into P6 with Ethan Williams in 7th. What a way to end our day here from round number 10 at Whitelands.
Absolutely. An incredible day of racing here at the K1 Circuit in Whiteland. I got to come to you, Jackson, on this. Final thoughts for you in today's action.
No matter where you saw, no matter where you looked, there was storylines, there was battles, and there was some really hard-fought victories. And we work our way towards crowning a champion here in round 12. Championships are getting incredibly tight across all divisions, across all motors, across all age groups. There is no reason you shouldn't be tuning in to round 11 and round 12 because it is going to be a heck of a show.
It certainly is. A lot of great opportunities, a lot of great racing still to come here for the IKC. And I have to say, the next round for the IKC Championship race, waiting to check and make sure the schedule is correct. Well, of course, round number 10 and 11 should be right around mid-November or end of October for the next round on the 25th for round number 11. For the IKC at the K1 Circuit. Of course, the next time you will see Kart Chasers coverage will be, I believe, next week for the Road Tax Grand Finals at Whiteland, or not Whiteland, I should say, at Newcastle Motorsports Park. And then, of course, the Texas Sprint Racing Series finale at the Dallas Karting Club. And then rounds of the MCC Motorsports Country Club Pro-Am Karting Championship at Kartaween, also October 25th through the 26th. So we want to say thank you for everyone tuning in, for all our amazing partners. My name is Taylor Burris. He's Jackson Lambros. We'll see you next time on Kart Chaser.